your reaction.
And because the same thing I dug about Andrew Schultz, it's like, it's got to be funny. I get your comedian gives you the license, right?
Well, we're halfway through the show, which means it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a...
Tweaking.
It didn't make me laugh. I get that it could be constructed as like a clever written joke. Like, okay.
You know who wrote the joke, though?
Huh?
You know who wrote the joke?
It didn't write a funny joke. It wasn't funny. That wasn't funny. That's my point. Because it's about, like, I get the structuring, right? It's like, because I'm a writer. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah.
That, you know, okay, like, it's a big award ceremony. It's a big moment. So, of course, something has to happen where Kendrick has a moment where he's calling Drake a... Like, I get that, right? Because we saw it at the Super Bowl, saw it at the Grammys. Yeah. Aha. And then he thinks the killer line is say, and I'm lawyered up. Like, he thinks that's going to be the killer line. The Conan's going to say, I'm lawyered up.
That was funny.
And there's, no, that was not funny, man.
The lawyer was funny to me.
It was clever. It was written.
I smiled.
Okay, was it funny to me? It wasn't like I'm falling out of my chair funny. It was the type of funny that you would present at like a wine and cheese and crackers party. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was PG-13 funny just to be included into the conversation.
That's not. But see, that's not good enough for me as a joke, especially if it's controversial.
It's humorous. No,
you don't laugh. You have to, for humorous to me, you have to actually laugh. Something has to come out of your system where you laugh. You can smile. It's like, that's clever.
So
that's not funny.
Something can be humorous without you laughing about it.
But I think if it's volatile and offensive type material, that has to land. If you say you're gonna have sex with Kendrick Lamar and you're a male comedian, white male, that shit gotta be funny. That shit was not funny. When Andrew did a bit about the Diddy Meek Mill, that shit was funny, and we laughed out loud. And that's crazy. It's comedy club. Don't go to the club for smiles. They want laughs.
Or claps these days.
Yo, the way Head smiled at me, I knew that joke really landed.
Well, for me, yeah.
Head went like this.
That's honestly for Head.
No, but if you're in a comedy club and everybody reacts like you, did that joke land?
It depends on
a bunch of smiling looking at me.
Are they stoic?
A comedy club full of DJ
I don't want
heads would be
stoicness at the comedy
horrific
club
for a comedian. That would be torture.
Well, you know how we laugh at like the Gen Z, millennial Gen Zs, how we laugh at. We say one word. Hilarious.
Spooky.
See, that's not laughing.
That's not true, because
that's not comedy. That's not comedy, my G.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I didn't repost it. So we can say I'm so anti-Drake. I didn't grab the low-hanging fruit. I didn't repost Conan. Oh my God, Conan got that off. That shit was corny. It looked like outsiders of the culture trying to attach themselves to culture. I think it's offensive to Drake and Kendrick. It's not cool. It's whack.
I didn't like the hypocrisy
Conan
I saw.
do look kind of scary, right?
He does. But when you
not
mentioned...
saying Conan isn't a brilliant, smart comedian. I think he did a great job overall as the host, but that joke wasn't cool.
Jay.
No, when you mentioned Schultz, what I didn't like to see is people completely losing the same energy. So the people who were, this is a joke. You're taking it too seriously. Andrew Schultz was making a joke about Kendrick Lamar. Wow, Kendrick fans don't understand comedy. Then Conan drops a joke at Drake's expense. This joke is too far. It's done. We can't. Why are we making jokes about that? I'm just saying keep the same energy. I personally didn't think this was the funniest joke either.
Well, I think that's because he outright used the P word. He outright used the word.
Yeah,
right. That's what was triggering the people. Where it's like,
they're like, how could he say that?
But he's trying to say, he said Kendrick's gonna call him it. Like, I'm not in it. Kendrick's gonna call him it. That's why I don't like it either. It seems like outsidery culture-y. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a little.
The black guy's gonna come in. The crazy black guy's gonna come out and call the other one this. You don't see it that way, Head?
I'm adding up outsidery culture. Hold on.
Outsidery culture?
Carry the one. I don't get it. What is outsidery?
Did you square the two though?
Square the
offensive to our culture, where it's like, the other guy's gonna come in and call the other guy that thing. Like
a little
outsiders to the culture
fight type thing.
Yeah, it's like on it because they're not a part of the conversation. We made Super Bowl part of our conversation. We made the Grammys part of our conversation. The Oscars, besides the Gold Party, if you want to segue, is the only connection to that with that culture, and like that's the point. It's like
I feel you.
You're not connected to us. You ain't feeding us and like connect to us. And bottom line again, it just wasn't funny to me. That's all. Lawyered Up wasn't even funny. It wasn't funny.
Lawyered Up. The Lawyered Up.
It was acknowledgement that might be a clever premise, but that's not a joke. A joke you should laugh.
Now I do agree with Elliott on this one, because it is a situation where you have outsiders giving their input on what's going on in hip hop. Now, like I said in the video I did not too long ago, these are just the consequences of losing the battle. See, everybody wants to feel like they're a part of it because right now you're in a situation where Drake is being jumped. Yes, Drake is being jumped. Everybody saw Kendrick Lamar beat down Drake. So now everybody feels like, okay, now we can take shots at Drake. It's a lot of people that probably wanted Drake already to not succeed, and now they're jumping in, getting their kicks in, making sure they're kicking him while he's down. This is really just between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. The Oscar joke was a little corny, but it was for that audience. That's all that was. But it's just unique because it's coming off the heels of one of the biggest battles in hip hop history. And I'm actually surprised to see Elliott side with Drake. Now, as you know, that Elliott has been very, very critical of Drake leading up to this moment. He has went as far to say his last project wasn't his best. He should have kept it. And he's been very critical. Not on no hater stuff, but just I'm going to tell you the truth about what I think you're doing and what I think you could do better. Since then, him and Drake haven't really been on great terms. I think he infamously called him an op. Yes, Elliott Wilson has become an op to the OVO crew because I guess, you know, he was caught him side and listening to Kendrick Lamar, or maybe he caught him nodding his head too much when Not Like Us came on. Either way, it's very, very surprising to see Elliott Wilson sit here and defend Drake. Now, I know it's a ton of Drake fans out there wondering, when is this gonna stop? When is the clowning gonna stop? The clowning will stop once Drake drops an undeniable album, which I feel like he's probably in the process of doing. He dropped a post today on Instagram, very lengthy post. I won't go into details about what he said and stuff like that because it was just a long paragraph, basically saying this next chapter of my career is going to be one that, you know, I hope that y'all appreciate, you know, even if it might be a little hard to hear some things, but I guess this next chapter of Drake's career is going to be one that's a little bit more forthcoming, something that's a little bit more intimate with his fans and not as braggadocious as his past stuff has been. But this is what happens when you lose, and this is what happens when you lose at the height of whatever you're doing. You know, before that Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef popped off, Drake was king. He walked around like he was king. He was breaking records, the Beatles, Michael Jackson. He was reaching these heights. And like you said, he had somebody come in like Kendrick Lamar and pretty much take that away from him. And now you're seeing the world jump on him. But Drake got all the power in his hands right now. Bro can hit the studio, drop an amazing project. And I promise you, the one thing that makes people forget about anything is when you drop fire music. But yeah, man, it's the Kid Ríez. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all be safe, stay carefree, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.